the Art of Puttering, an opinion editorial written in the New York Times in June 2011. We are driven people, New Yorkers, too much to do, not enough time. We keep lists, we crowd our schedules, we look for more efficient ways to organize ourselves. We get things done when we're not too busy planning to get things done. Even our leisure time is focused, and there is something proactive about our procrastination. We don't merely put things off, we put things off by piling other things on top of them. As Robert Benchley once noted, anyone can do any amount of work provided it isn't the work he's supposed to be doing at that moment. But every now and then, there comes a day for puttering. You can't put it in your book ahead of time because who knows when it will come. No one intends to putter. You simply discover in a brief moment of self-awareness that you've been puttering, or as the English would say, pottering. It often begins with a lost object, not the infuriating kind that causes you to turn the house upside down while looking at your watch, but the speculative kind. I wonder where that is, you think. You begin to look, your attention is diverted almost immediately and then diverted again. You move through the morning with a calm, oblivious focus, taking on tasks, incidental ones, in the order they present themselves, which is to say, no order at all. Puttering is small-scale stream of consciousness problem solving. It is setting sail on a sea of random course changes, and you have long since forgotten what you were looking for, or that you were looking for anything at all. So hey friends, here I am. I have found myself in the puttering stage. I'm puttering around the house because of technical difficulties and because I am extremely tired. Editing videos right now is just not possible. I grossly underestimated the fact that I could do Vlogmas for 25 days while being the primary caregiver of a 10-month-old. Yeah, I did not factor that in when I decided to do Vlogmas. Last year I did it. I did all 25 days. Very proud of that accomplishment. This year I was hoping that I could do the same, but obviously the circumstances have changed. We have moved. We had to go get the baby. The baby's here. The dog is jealous of the baby. That's a whole other story. And I still have to do things around the house, and I still have to decorate for Christmas and all of those things. So at this point, I am puttering. I'm really doing little menial tasks right now because that's how I get my mind right. If you ever want to reset yourself, just detach from everything. Get in your house. I don't even have clothes on yet, and just putter around. It's mindful, but it's mindful tasks, but it's mindful little tasks, things that don't require too much thought. You just water your plants. You clip the dead parts off of your plants. You might do a little bit of laundry. You might fold the laundry. You might take on a crochet project like I'm doing here. A crochet project that is not turning out right because for whatever reason, it's way too big and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But you do these things and you do them because you want to reset your mind. At least that's why I do them. That's why I putter. I walk around, I see what needs to be done, and they're just little things. I don't take on any large organizing projects. I don't take on any large cooking projects. I'm not doing anything major. I'm definitely not editing today because my mind just does not want to do that. My mind is not organized enough right now to do that. A big part of that is because I'm tired, but you'll see why in the latter part of the video. Anyway, so I just wanted to talk to you guys about that and how that's okay. It's okay to pull back from quote unquote responsibilities. I consider it a responsibility because I want to bring content to my subscribers here on YouTube. But at the same time, it's a responsibility that I've given to myself. And if I'm living a soft life, I'm not going to force myself to do something that my mind and my mental health may not be capable of doing.
So we're just resetting. I do plan on completing Vlogmas, but I'm going to do it my way. And perhaps that just means that I will be doing every other day, or I'll only do a couple of videos this week. And once the baby is back home with his dad, then I will be able to do every day. We'll see. Just know that you will get Vlogmas videos from me. I'm going to shoot for every other day, so let's look for that. And, you know, if by chance I fall short, charge it to my head and not to my heart. But we will get to the 25th. We will. And also, I have content planned for the new year as well. So just wanted to give you a heads up on that. Now I'm gonna open my beauty pie order, and one of my subscribers suggested ASMR. So this is gonna be a little ASMR. And if you hang on till the end of the video, you'll get a little bit of a book vlog too. All right, I'm so glad you guys are here. I hope you're having a wonderful start to your holiday. And we're gonna get through this together, because that's what we do. All right. So I decided to start the project all over again, and once again, I don't know what I did wrong, but it's huge. Is it the pattern? Is it me? Am I reading it wrong? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I mean, this looks cool. It's really cute, but it's not gonna make an ornament for a Christmas tree, clearly. So, hey, this is future me popping in. Okay, so it's crazy when you find out you've been doing something wrong the whole time, right? I couldn't for the life of me figure out why it kept coming out so big. And of course, I was too dumb to quit. So I just kept trying and kept trying. So my daughter, being the smart cookie that she is, I raised a good one, told me that I was using the UK terminology instead of the US terminology. So it's actually supposed to be this size, because this would be the size of an ornament, right? Yeah. So my snowman is gonna be this size. And it never dawned on me. And I was like, am I doing it wrong? Of course I blamed myself first, because that's what we do. I mean, technically it was my fault, but it wasn't. I just was using the wrong stitch. Yeah. So in the UK, a double crochet, or a DC, is a single crochet in the States. Yeah. And I would say who knew, but my daughter knew. That's who knew. So this is by far much more logical than what I was doing. Hopefully I'll finish it today. So future me again. Yesterday when I was filming this video that you're watching now, I did a segment on the book that I'm reading, This Is Not a Pity Memoir. And I did that segment in conjunction with another skincare segment, but I didn't want to put the whole skincare segment. His toys are so funny. I did not want to put the whole skincare segment into this video. Next up, you'll see a portion of the reading vlog that I did when I was filming this video. And it starts like right in the middle of the action. So I just wanted to give you a heads up on that because it's going to sound a little weird. A little bit of a backstory. I'm talking about how I went on ahead and did my skincare routine and sat down and started chit-chatting with you guys because I was feeling a little off balance because of the night before. Because we're human. And because life still lifes sometimes, and every aspect of life is not always soft. So that's what you're actually going to be seeing here next. Okay. Sitting here and talking about this has balanced me out. And the reason why I was unbalanced, although I don't want to drag it back up because I'll be in a mood again, I think I'll be fine, is because last night at about 2 o'clock in the morning, or 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm sorry. Last night at about 1 o'clock in the morning, my dog exploded. Somehow she missed going out the last time and proceeded to pee and poop everywhere. Well, not everywhere. People say that and it's just so dramatic. She didn't do it everywhere. She didn't have to do it everywhere. She did it on her bed. She did it under her bed. She did it in a big spot where she sleeps. And unfortunately, as luck would have it, me, who never ever goes from my room in the middle of the night to get water or anything, I was thirsty. Well, it was a good thing I was thirsty. It wasn't thirst, clearly. It was, I say, spirit telling me go downstairs because, there's poop and pee on your floor. That's really what that was. And I'm grateful for that because otherwise it would have been a mess this morning. So I was cleaning that up last night when I was actually ready to go to sleep. And then, of course, she proceeded to continue to poop and pee throughout the night. Apparently she's not sick though. She just missed her last walk. And so because she did, you gotta go. So that's kind of how I woke up this morning, or that's how I went to bed last night. I woke up not in the greatest mood and I didn't really get to read as much as I wanted to. I did, however, put the book on Audible so that I could listen to it. And I did listen to another chapter. And what do I want to say about the book? What I want to say is you never want to hear the words, "They're not out of the woods yet." That really got me for some reason. I don't know why. It just did. It really got me. So that's where we are now. They have found out what's wrong with Abby's husband. So, they have a diagnosis and now they can do the things that they need to do to try to turn the situation around. But, Abby alludes to the fact, and I don't think I'm giving anything away here, that things are never going to be the same. And this is a lot for like the first 3 chapters of the book. But she does allude to the fact that things are never going to be the same, even though they now have a diagnosis and they're able to turn the situation around. So we're not out of the woods yet, is what the doctor said. And she's like, we will hear that throughout several more times throughout this ordeal. So I don't know. That kind of just tugged at me a little bit because I'm like, I've been there, and sometimes people don't make it out of the woods. And that's a scary thought. So I can feel what the author is trying to convey when she says that. Also, I don't know about you, but I love how a book has historical references, even though this is present day. Like, this book was written fairly recently, right? So it's interesting to see history happening when you're reading a book. You're watching things unfold that, in the future, people are going to look back and they're going to be like, oh, so is that how it was? I like that documentation. And what I'm getting at here is the diagnosis, when she got the diagnosis, she did what I would imagine a lot of people would do. What I would do is she Googled it, right? So she says, I Googled it. And she says, she pulls up the Wikipedia definition of what her husband has. And I was just like, I don't know. For me, it's kind of like you're watching history happen, if that makes sense. Like, that's present day. It's normal. Like, oh yeah, you know, we're having a conversation and it's like, oh yeah, I Googled that, you know, and this is what it said, blah, blah, blah. Or, oh, Wikipedia says blah, blah, blah. And I remember when Wikipedia was not considered a reliable source. It has, you know, I've always loved Wikipedia personally, and that's because it gives you references. It's a reliable source. It gives you the synopsis, and then you take those references and you do your research. A lot of people, I don't think, realize that you start from Wikipedia. Anyway, so yeah, she put the Wikipedia, you know, passage in the book, and it outlines what it is, the illness that her husband actually has and what's actually happening to him. And I just loved that so much. I'm a nerd, you guys. So, you know, give me all of the information. Let me process it my way, but just give it to me. And she did. And I liked that. And I like that in 30 years, you know, 100 years, if someone picks up this book, you know, Wikipedia and Google and all of those things will probably will more than likely be obsolete. Either they will be obsolete or they'll be celebrating their 100th birthday, but it will be like the 10th or 15th iteration of the platform. Probably won't look anything like it looks today. That idea for me, you know, we are a part of history and the things that we're doing and the life that we're living. I mean, I think 51 years of living and how I had a rotary phone with, you know, the cord that I used to walk around the house, and you get the long cord so you can go from room to room. And now, like, we talk on these and you can see the person from thousands of miles away. So people born after this was invented don't even have any concept of the corded phone. So I like that. She's putting a timestamp on it, and that with any book. I'm not just speaking of this book in particular, but sometimes I feel like a lot of authors try to make books timeless, so they don't really give you any set like time frame or set space in history. And that's one of the reasons why I love biographies and autobiographies, because you kind of have to, because you're telling the story of a life, or you're telling the story of actual events that have happened. So you have to give that timestamp. And I love that. I love that. And I love it when I read books that are historical, because I can go back and, you know, the Telegraph, they will say, oh yeah, you know, we sent, you know, the Telegraph did blah, blah, blah. I have no concept of the Telegraph really. But I know that it was a thing, and I know that I could look it up and I could see what it looks like, and that's what people had to use back in the day. And I just find that absolutely fascinating. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will be still working on the next one, and hopefully see you in the next one. And I think in the next one, I'll talk to you about my beauty pie order too. No, I'm not sponsored by them either, because I'm not sponsored by anybody yet. Like I said, maybe one of these days. No, one of these days I will be. But you know, YouTube got me. They got me. I was like, I have to try beauty pie, because I love skincare products. It's one of the things that I buy the most. And if I can get them for less, and if I could get them as aesthetic as these are, like, good Lord, I've seen some beautiful beauty pie products. And you know, if they work as well as everyone says they do, then I'm here for it. You know, I don't think I'll be ordering a whole lot, because I am trying to downsize my collection of beauty products. I have way too much, but I have way too much of things I don't use. If I use them, then just keep giving them to me. Also, apparently they have really good candles, and I'm kind of a candle girl by default too. I didn't mean to be one, it just happened. People come over, they bring you candles, and you know, you want your house to smell good. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go now. Love you and leave you. See you hopefully tomorrow. Bye.